Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Get Into It with Gila. I'm Gila Glassberg, your host, registered dietitian, and intuitive eating counselor. And today I have on Tova Weiss. Hi, Tova. How are you?
Hi, Gila. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing great. I'm so happy that we did this. Full disclosure, Tova was my doula for my last birth. I really appreciate you coming on, and we're going to talk a little bit about you and your life and your decision to become a doula, and then maybe we'll have time to share a little bit my most amazing birth story ever, basically.
Hey, I'm looking forward. Very
Yeah.
exciting.
So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? What do you do?
So I live in Far Rockaway, actually, Bayswater. I am a mother, a grandmother, a wife. Um, well, opposite order, I guess. Wife,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
wife,
yeah,
mother, grandmother.
yeah.
And I'm also a doula. And I became a doula for my daughters. My youngest was 14 when my daughter started having their children, and I felt like life and protocols had changed a tremendous amount. I wanted to be able to help them better. And I took this course and I was blown away to the moon and
Wait,
back.
hold on. Let me take you back.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. So, like, that's crazy. Like, what do you mean by you wanted to be your kid's doula? Like, your youngest was 14. Your first child got married and was pregnant, right? And you're like, oh, like I could be their doula, or like, what made you think like my mom was at my first birth? What made you think like I need to take a course? Like, did you have amazing birth stories? Like, did you hear about doulas being amazing? Like, what made you decide I need to take a course?
So it wasn't anything like that, actually. It was more like I heard about this course and I'm like, oh, life and protocols had changed in hospitals and in the world in general in 14 years. So I felt like maybe they have more information that I could just, even if I wasn't with my daughters, I wasn't sure at that point if I was going to go or not go, but at least I could give them over information that could help them better during their pregnancy, during their labor and delivery, and postpartum as well. So I took this course just for that, not having any intention of really being a doula. One of them had said to me, "Mommy, maybe you want to come as my mother," like, but not like I didn't really know too much about being a doula. It just was just informational more. Um,
Did you have any negative experience giving birth? Like that's why you were thinking?
so I had had one um, a long time ago with one of my children. One of my physicians, it was a Friday actually, and one of the physicians decided that it was their um, Friday afternoon break, vacation, whatever, and said if I didn't have the baby by 12 o'clock that they were leaving. And they did leave. I had my baby at like 12:20, but they left at 12. And I never realized that it was like a trauma for me until I started being in this field.
Wow.
Once I started, I realized, whoa, that really was not okay. I kind of just went on from there and I didn't like kind of look back. I was upset with the physician, but
Yeah.
um, I never really looked back until I started, I took this course and I realized, wow, that really was not an okay situation. And
Hmm.
how do I help my daughters, not even anybody else? How do I help my daughters not be in a situation like that? So I took this course. It was 3 days, three very, very full days. And the course I took was from Ruthie Mayer. It was a DONA certified course, and she was incredible, and she blew me to the moon and back, riveting beyond. And I was like, I came home and I said, I can't just do this for my daughters. I have to do this for other people too. And I also, at that point, I was subbing in all the local schools. Um, I was very, very busy with that as well. And I realized that some of the things that I do in a classroom I do with my moms and a
Hmm.
very, very different level.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
like what do I do in the classroom? I keep the classroom calm.
Right.
I help the children who cannot advocate. The ones who can sometimes need a little bit of extra help. So
Hmm.
what am I doing with a mom? I'm doing all of those things. I'm keeping the mom calm, the situation calm. Or I try to. I keep, the ones who can't, some people find it very hard to advocate when they're on a table, on a bed.
Yeah.
or even standing, but
Yeah.
sometimes people have a hard time advocating for
Or when they're
themselves.
in a lot of pain or when they
Or
don't know that they can.
correct. So that's where I help in that respect as well. Obviously every birth is different, and some people need more and some people need less,
Hmm.
which is, normal.
Hmm.
And I kind of go with what the mom needs in the moment. And sometimes things are taken out of our hands. Sometimes the doctors do feel like certain things have to be done, even if it's not really a birth plan of the mom's. And if we
Yep.
have to have a second idea of what might be, we just really need to know that really Hashem is in the background, that Hashem is really there. And every birth I go to is, I see Hashem in every single way. And I tell my moms, if I'm meant to be there, I will be. And Hashem has his plan. It's not us. It
Yeah.
is, it's the mom's journey, but also we just have to know Hashem is really, really involved, even if we don't always see in the minute minute. Um,
Did this job make you like closer to Hashem, like have more emunah in Hashem because of like you're saying, like everything is so up in the air. You just with birth, you don't know when it's gonna come. So it's like everything's out of our control, but like it's so much more pronounced.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And every morning when I get up in the mornings and I daven to Hashem, and I'm like, part of my davening, besides the regular davening that we do, is Hashem, please, please, please let me be the right shaliach for this mom if I'm going today for a birth. Even not even for the birth itself, but my speaking with the mom, whether it's before the delivery or if it's after the delivery, Hashem, please let me be the right shaliach. Let me put the right words in my mouth,
Mhm.
or just give me the right tools to use, so that I can help this mom. And if I'm not the right shaliach, please, Hashem, don't let me be there.
I have so many questions and I'm getting like excited just thinking about my birth because it was so good, but like we're gonna wait until we get there. So okay. So how long ago did you become a doula?
So I started about 5 years ago. And like I said, my first birth was my daughter's,
Is that
and
amazing?
it was it was very emotional, but incredibly amazing. And at first, it was like, should I go? Should I not go? My daughter wasn't sure. And then in the moment, she called me and she said, Mommy, come. And I went.
Yeah.
And Baruch Hashem, been with that daughter for 3 of her children. And
Wow.
I'm with Baruch Hashem with another one of my daughters for 2 of her children.
Wow.
And, and my daughter-in-laws, I do not go with.
Okay, I hear
Which
that.
and my boy said to me, Mommy, how does this help us that you became a doula? They thought was going through a midlife crisis
Yeah,
at the
seriously.
time.
I get that.
And,
I was gonna ask
and,
you about that.
I said, well, I understand I'm not coming with your wives and that with you and your wives, and that's okay. But I do feel that if ever you have a question, you can call me on the phone and say, the doctor wants to do XYZ. This is what's going on during the pregnancy, during the labor. What should we do? What can we do to help that? So that I don't feel that that's a very invasive situation going to a daughter-in-law, but just on the phone talking, I
Yeah.
feel like I can help as well. And I've
Right.
actually done a few births over the phone with moms.
Right, right. That's when I tell my story, I'll like, yes, I get that. Um, but I also really appreciate that you do that as a mother-in-law. Like you give them their space, like you allow, like you tell them, I'm here if you need me in this way, but I get that you don't want me in this way. So thank you for doing that as for all those people out there, you know. So okay, one second. So now I'm thinking, okay, you came 5 years ago. Okay, so do you know how many births you've done since?
I've stopped counting, but it's definitely over 150.
And did you ever imagine that this would be your life? Like once you started as
Never,
a doula and you said you're going to take on other people, did you did you imagine it to take on a life of its own like it did?
never. It has just become a very major passion in my life. Um, and I I get up at 2:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. I just jump and go
You
and
come to
whatever.
people's houses at 12 at night and don't sleep the whole night. Yes, yes, yes. I'm familiar.
I sometimes I go to 2 or 3 births in a day. Um, if
Are you still
depending how,
subbing?
no, I stopped this current year, starting September, I stopped subbing
Wow.
because yeah,
Yeah.
till last June I was.
Yeah.
Now I Baruch Hashem, I feel like I really can't commit to the subbing anymore at the moment
Right.
because I've really, Baruch Hashem, been very, very busy with this.
Yeah. So you started 5 years ago, started with your daughters, and then what was the next step that happened?
So I had to become certified, and I needed to become certified. I needed 3 births. So in the beginning, I was, anybody who I saw, I would tell I'm doing this kind of for very, very cheap or really free,
Yeah.
because I really needed to get wanted to get my certification. And once it took me vaguely about a year to get my full certification. And then after that, kind of became word of mouth.
Mm,
And I, and it's Baruch Hashem, the word of mouth is incredible. And I have clients, moms from Staten Island, Williamsburg, Borough Park, Flatbush, Far Rockaway, Bayswater,
Woodmere.
Woodmere, Queens.
Yeah.
Um, people have called me. I've gone even twice to Muncie. I've
Wow.
had moms call me for Westchester. I go to Manhattan, but I've
Wow.
had moms all over the place.
Wow. It is like a good stage of life that you're in to be a doula. Like I don't understand how like young moms are doulas because it's just like, the babies are born whenever they're born. So it's like,
Right.
I don't know, nice. It feels like it's like exciting, Like birth
It
is always
is. It is. And Hashem gave me an amazing gift. Baruch Hashem, my youngest is now in seminary and currently, and my ones above her, Baruch Hashem, are all married. So yes, I'm very busy with my children and my grandchildren, but they are busy with their lives as well.
right.
So I feel like Hashem gave me this gift before I needed it, that I have something that I have a passion for and that I love and that I want to get up in the middle of the night and I don't have a
Yeah.
problem getting up in the
Yeah.
middle of the night for. And Hashem gave me this wonderful gift.
That's
And
amazing.
I don't take that for
Yes,
granted.
it's amazing. Like I think that like birth is like the most amazing thing in the whole world. I just happen to be petrified of blood. So like I don't see myself ever being a doula, but like in another lifetime, I just feel like how could you not want to be involved in like someone giving birth? So it's so beautiful. Um,
Right.
so we've been talking about like sharing my birth story. So I'm gonna just do that. And I want to hear also like where you were holding. But I just want to say like I am gonna take out or change some of the details just because like privacy reasons. But so like you were my doula for my fifth birth, and you were my only doula at a birth. So I just want to say to all the new moms out there, please get yourself a doula. Like I highly regret, obviously Hashem runs the world and it was meant to be, but like I wish I had a doula for all my births. But you live and you learn. So with my first birth, my mom was actually there, and that was also like such a crazy thing. Like I didn't obviously you have no idea what it is to give birth until you give birth. Like actually I remember thinking when I was pregnant with my first, like somebody in my family was also pregnant and she's like, did you take like Lamaze class or breathing class? I was like, why would I take that? Like, what am I gonna do in the middle of labor? You think I'm gonna like remember the breathing? Like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, of course I should have taken a class, like at least you have some reference point. Like, obviously you learn as you go, but whatever. My mom was there and it was like also the most amazing experience to have your mother with you while you give birth. And it was like just so beautiful. And then with my second birth, things just went much faster, which is very common, you know. And then by the time I was pregnant with my third, um, I have told this story on the podcast, I think, but basically my third baby was breech, and oh, it's such a long story, but I ended up having a C-section 3 days after my mother died, so that was just sad all around. And then with my fourth birth, I had a doula and she was amazing and I love her and my sister used her and I was like I'm just gonna be totally honest, like my sister when her first was a C-section, then after that she got a doula and I was like a doula, really? Like who has money for that? Like I'm just being honest. Like who has money for that? Like there's a lot of money, Like, and then with my fourth, I really didn't want to have a C-section, so I'm like, I better get a doula. And then my doula was so nice, and she knew that I was nervous about the money, and she told me like if you're really feeling nervous, I could coach you over the phone. So I was like, and it's much cheaper. So I was like, interesting idea. And then I went into labor naturally with my fourth. My doctor was very nervous about VBACing, like having a vaginal birth after C-section. And I went into labor. So I just figured, okay, I'm not going to have a C-section. And I did end up having a C-section, which was very, very devastating. And then when I was pregnant with my fifth, I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm getting a doula. And the doula that I used before wasn't available and whatever, for whatever reason. And my sister and sister-in-law both used you. And I reached out to you and to Tova, and I'm just trying to think of like the sequencing. And then could you mind if I'm totally honest with like what happened like during my birth? And you'll just
As
like,
long as you're okay with it, I'm
no,
good.
I don't mean like I don't mean like the details of the birth. I mean like how I was feeling about having a doula.
Yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so what's awesome about Tova is that she comes to your house or you go to her house and she kind of preps you. Well, I didn't need that so much for my fifth birth, but for first birth, that's so nice to get a little bit of prepping. I feel like your first birth, you just don't know what you don't know. So you're like, I don't even know what that means. Like, but by my fifth birth, it was just like nice. Like you do some exercises, you really try to get into the mindset of like your body knows what to do and it might be hard and I'm gonna be there to support you. I feel like I have a good perspective because I really know now what I didn't know and how much having a doula helped me. But okay, so this is really funny, but okay, so I was due on June 15th, I believe. I used Dr. Herman, who is amazing, and he is very into VBACing. So I really feel like I did a lot of good hishtadlis. Like I used a doctor who was okay with VBACing, and he kept every time I went, "Do you think I could have VBAC? Do you think I could have VBAC?" He's like, "You're a perfect candidate. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry." Like I just asked him every single second, and I did my pelvic floor PT, and I didn't do my spin because somebody told me it's bad for your pelvic floor. I don't know, who knows, and I sat on the birthing ball, like all the stuff, and then I was due June 15th. But like I am mostly late, but like I don't really have a mostly because like two of them were C-sections. And my first two I was late. My third was a C-section. My fourth was a C-section, but I was a day early, so like I don't really have a pattern. And then my husband runs this huge Shabbaton in Rome, remember? So
Yes.
um so like he plans that Shabbaton like now. He plans that now, like November. So like I didn't know like my due date. I mean, I guess I did know my due date. No, this is what happened. I obviously did know my due date. I don't think he planned it before I knew I was pregnant. That would be crazy. I don't think. But I think what happened was that that was literally the only week that worked that we were able to go, and it's like such a highlight for everybody. So we were like, okay, we're just not gonna go, or you'll go by yourself with the kids. I'm like, how does that help me? Like, I still need you if I go into labor. And it was just like hanging over our heads the whole time. And um, I think we spoke a lot like that week. Like, should I
We
go?
did.
Not
We
go?
did speak a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Should I go? Should I not go? Like, I'm crazy if I go. What's my birth plan? I spoke to the doctor. I went to the doctor right before. And oh, it was also right before Shavuos, remember? So like right before Shavuos, I texted you like I think I might be in labor, like I had some signs, and you're like maybe this that, and then like I was fine, thank God.
Right.
And then like we decided that if I go to Romimu, I could like leave and drive for 3 hours because my births usually take like 10 to 12 hours. But anything could happen. And like some people were like, maybe you're going to give birth upstate. And I'm like, well, there are hospitals upstate, but like it's a little bit risky because I want to have a VBAC. So I like really didn't know what to do. So I spoke to my Rev and he said, you're okay to go. I don't know if that's really makes any sense, but I felt like it made sense. So we drove up Thursday night, and after the 3 hour drive, I got out of the car and I'm like, I think I'm in labor. But I didn't really think I was in labor, but like pre-labor, you feel very crampy. Like
Right.
anything could do that to you, like a long car ride or a little bit too much exercise, right? So I got out of the car. My husband's like, just take a walk, like move around, circulate your blood, and I was fine. And then the next,
Hashem.
yeah, so like every few hours, I was like, okay, we're good. We're still here. We're good. Like, so then then the next day there was like 3 hour women's swim, and I love to swim and I love to exercise, and I like it was so hard for me this pregnancy to exercise. So I was like, I'll just swim, I'll do like laps. Like after like 10 minutes of laps, I'm like, I must stop swimming now. Like I stayed in the water, but I didn't keep like exerting energy because like that was bad. And then like our plan was that we were gonna leave Motzei Shabbos because my son, one of my kids, had like a sitter play. So we really had to, usually we stay Sunday and we like have a really good time. Like we go swimming or we do whatever. And this time we had to go home. So we're like, let's leave Motzei Shabbos because like we don't want to miss the sitter play, whatever. I was like so not able to sit in the car for 3 hours on Motzei Shabbos. And my husband was exhausted. So I'm like, hey, we'll just leave early in the morning. So like we both barely slept. Like we were just so anxious about the whole thing. So like at 6 o'clock, we just said to each other, like, should we just leave now? So we were gonna leave at 7. So we just got in the car, left. So we actually left two of my kids at the in Romimu, like my older kids, because they had to ride back. They didn't want to leave because it's so fun on Sunday. And then we came home. But like that was the sitter play was really beautiful, but it was like kind of sad because I was all by myself because my mother wasn't there. My in-laws were in Israel at the time, and my daughter wasn't even with me because she was in Romimu. So I was like, this is really sad. So that was like, I wonder if like I feel like emotions like play into like labor also. And I was like, but then I was back home, so I was like, hey, now I can give birth. I think I even worked that Sunday. I did some
You
work on Sunday.
did. You did work that
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
And I think you had a party maybe. You made some, did you make a party or you went to a party that day?
No, no, you're talking about my upsharing, which was like a month
Oh,
earlier.
oh,
Yeah.
a month earlier,
I made
sorry.
my upsharing early just to avoid like getting in the way with giving birth.
Right.
Um, and then no, I worked like I did my Hamaspic work where I was cooking and baking with kids, so I was like actually on my feet. So I was like pre-laboring, like pretty crampy, but not like in labor. Honestly, I want to say I just told someone like I love I don't know how you feel about this, but I love the rule like what is it 5-1-1? Like if your contractions are every 5 minutes and they last a minute for one whole hour, that's a good sign that
Correct.
you're in labor, right?
Correct.
So that's really good advice for people to know because it's like so true. I wasn't feeling that. I was just feeling like a little crampy. Like if it was my first baby, I would have felt like, oh my gosh, I'm in labor, but like that's not labor. So then then like my husband told me, he's like, I have good news that I'm actually off on Monday to like recuperate from the Shabbaton, so we'll go on a date. So it was like nice. I was like, well, we may have a baby on Monday because I'm like pretty much sure that I'm pre-laboring. And my sister, she always says, she's like, you will the baby in and then you will the baby out. Because I was like, I want to be early, but I don't want the baby to come before Romimu. So, because like I just can't be pregnant anymore, you know? And then so we had a very relaxing day. Like my kids had school and my husband was off, so we went to Very Juice. And I remember thinking when I went to the bathroom at Very Juice, like I'm just gonna give birth in Very Juice, like that would be really funny. And then no, I remember what happened. On Sunday, I had a wedding and my husband had a wedding. We both had weddings that were like an hour away. And I was like, I can't go to a wedding an hour away by myself. Like he's like, should we go to both weddings? Like you'll come with me here and I'll come with you there. I'm like, we're not going to any weddings. Like we're staying put. Like now we're not traveling. Um, and then Monday was a normal day. And then I started to text you and I was like, I might be in labor. And like my husband went to bed, my kids were sleeping, and then you told me to track my contractions. So, by the way, it's just nice to have a doula that you could talk to while you don't know if you're in labor or not. Like, like it's just nice to run that by somebody who has a lot of experience with like, is this labor or not labor? And then you had a party, you had a shul thing, and you're like, just so you know, I'm at shul, I'm at my shul thing. Like, text me if you need me. And then you told me to track my contractions, and they were not every 5 minutes, they were like every 2 minutes. And I'm like, can you please come to my house and come with us to the hospital? Like, I need you now. And then you came over, and then you confirmed that you thought I was in labor, which was nice because like you don't wanna like get someone out of bed, and then it's false labor, you know.
Right.
And then I'll just be honest with you, like when we got into the car, so my husband drove and you were sitting next to me, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice to have someone back with me. But then I was like, I'm very like like I need my space. So I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be okay with somebody like asking me if I'm okay, you know? And
Right.
then that like all changed, like that thought all changed in an instant when like I remember it so clearly, like my husband dropped us off. and like they start asking you these ridiculous questions, like, what's your birthday? When was your last menstrual cycle? Like, I don't know why you're asking me that. I'm clearly in labor. Like, could you just admit me now? And then, and then, and then they admitted us, but like, I just like everything like totally like changed for me. Like, I'm sure you remember, I don't know if you remember because you have a lot of births, but like, I just remember being really hot. Like, I was so hot in labor. And you're like, oh, don't worry, I have my fans. And you like were holding like two fans on me. I'm like, why did I ever not have a doula? Like, what was I thinking? Um, and then like just from there it was like so helpful. Like when I was in pain and you were like applying counter pressure, like that's just like not a thing. Like your husband can't really help you. And like it's just I always like wonder like what Hashem was like thinking. Like obviously I'm not Hashem, but like when you're in labor, you need so much like physical support, you know? So like
Right.
just so helpful to have that. Besides for the emotional support, like you need physical support, you know? And like I'm scared of the IV, and like you were able to ask them, like, does she really need two IVs? They wanted me to have two IVs because of my two past C-sections. And do you remember they said like you have to have two, but then they only gave me one?
Correct. Yes.
And like Tova,
Bec-
you
Because we asked.
right,
Sometimes we don't know that we need to ask. And
right,
sometimes there really is a reason why there does need to be two IVs. It's
right,
not a blanket statement for everyone that, because one mom had a certain way doesn't mean that the other another mom or a different pregnancy for that mom is going to go that same way. I can't know that in advance. It
right,
has to be kind of in the moment.
right. And also, by the way, just I forgot to say this that you were making your daughter's wedding.
I was gonna say, can I intervene and
Yeah,
say
yes, yes.
that I was making a simcha 10 days after you were due, and I told you if Hashem wants me there, I will be there. And Baruch Hashem, it all worked out.
It was so nice because you were like, every time we spoke, you're like, I hope I can make it. I hope I can make it. I'm like, I'm not having these babies 10 days late. Like, are you ridiculous? Like, but you never know, you know? So they would never have let me go that late after two seasons.
No,
But you never know. You just don't know. Like, if you needed to be there for your daughter, you know?
right.
Um, and then, like, I'm just trying to remember all, like, the cool things that you did. Remember, like, you turned off the lights and you made it, like, very pretty in the room and the music. And all the nurses and doctors that walked in were like, wow, I love it in here. It's so nice. It's so cozy. Like they like the vibe that you created. Um, I also remember, like, I'm just gonna share this if this is like helpful for people that like I was really nervous about having another C-section, like really, really, really nervous. And like I feel like with my fourth kid, I was like trying to control the situation and not get like giving it up to Hashem. So I just kept like when things weren't going exactly as planned, like when I just told this mom who's my friend who's due soon. I said like just because you asked for the epidural doesn't mean the anesthesiologist is available to give you the epidural. And like that's really hard to swallow because like you could get the epidural, like you're ready and able, but like the person who administers the epidural is not. So it's like really hard to wait when you're in that much pain. So I remember right when I was in the triage, I was like, I really want the epidural. Like I can't tolerate the pain anymore. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. And then like the anesthesiologist came in and he was like, the only thing is I'm waiting on a blood value because I think something to do with my C-sections. And I was like closing my eyes. I was like, Hashem, I can't wait anymore. I need the epidural. Please, like, make a miracle. And he came in. Do you remember this? He came
Yes,
in.
yes, I do.
He's like, that was the fastest lab value I've ever gotten. You're ready for your epidural. I was like, oh my gosh, it's literally a miracle. Like, I can't. I have very low pain tolerance. Like, I can't. It's hard. Labor's
You
hard.
did amazing until you couldn't. And
Yeah.
everybody's pain tolerance is different and it's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
But you got to a point where you did so much on your own without any help, which was incredible. And you should be so proud of that about you for you.
I am, and I'm really happy. Baruch Hashem, like it's good when you can like labor without an intervention because it really your body really is doing the work, you know?
Right.
And obviously I only know this now. Like I wouldn't have been able to be told that like with my first or second birth, you know? But now
For
that
sure.
I did take a hypnobirthing class when I was pregnant with my third, but then I ended up having a C-section. So I felt like I had that knowledge like somewhere in my brain of like, trying to breathe through the contractions and like not, constricting your body because that does cause more pain. But like at a certain point, I'm just like, please just give me the epidural, which like no shame, like whatever you need.
For every mom needs, and every birth is so different. And what happens at one for even the same mom doesn't need to happen at the next one. And there's so many varying factors that
Yeah,
that are involved in the
yeah,
moment that you can't know what one birth is going to look like to the next, really.
100%. Um, yeah, and then also you put like that little lavender thing on me. Like it was just a vibe, like a really nice vibe. And like the fans, oh my gosh. I think I told you this after, like I was like, I think I just need to do that every day. Like I just need someone to hold two fans on me. Like that would just be awesome. But like you never get that in life. So just like that extra, like those little things that are like really big things. Yeah, they gave me the epidural, and then my doctor wasn't there, so we emailed him. And like also there was just like a lot of hashgacha pratis. Like I think he was in Israel the week before. Like he had just gotten back from Israel.
He had just come back, yes.
He had just come back. He only comes to the hospital on Tuesdays, I found out after. It was a Tuesday, right?
Right, right,
I think
right.
he tries to come for births, but like he was, so we emailed him. Like he's so funny. We were emailing him like, please come to the hospital. I'm in labor, and he was like sending back like one word answers, and then like when he came, he was like, I didn't get to see my wife this morning. He was just joking, I think, but like I was just like sorry, but like really he was so nice that he came like early to like he came earlier than his shift started just because I emailed him, which is like I can't even imagine. Like, I don't know what it's like to be an OBGYN, but like that sounds crazy.
Right.
I mean, he knew that I really wanted him to be there. And the doctor who was on call was like, remember you said you're like, you are waiting for Dr. Herman because like, I don't know why you're not progressing. And like, I had that with like my birth before that, like, I was progressing so well when I got to the hospital. Like, I went really fast and then I just wasn't progressing anymore. The baby was like sunny side up. So, but like I didn't have a doula. I know now that if I had a doula, like they have all these like techniques to like try to move the baby.
Yes, we try to do a lot of movement,
Yeah.
even on an epidural, even on an
Yeah.
epidural.
Right. And you did.
Yes.
You were able to like move me around as much as possible. And then Dr. Herman came and then like basically like I just progressed really quickly after that. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to say. I'm not going to share any more details. And then but like it was a funny birth, let's just say. And then yeah, I remember like closing my eyes. I think I closed my eyes like most of my labor. I wasn't sleeping, but I closed my eyes and I was like, I just kept repeating to myself like Hashem, you're my doula. Hashem, you're my doula. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but like I have all the support I need. Like my husband said, it was so helpful for him. He was just davening. Like when does he doesn't get to do that during birth because like I need him to be near me. Not that he could do anything. Um, And remember, oh, I remember another thing that happened that at my last birth, they said I can't eat or drink anything, but like a new thing that they let was like ices. Remember?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I was like, I really want an ices. Like, I just want something cold, or I want to feel like I'm eating because like I can't eat. And they're like, the nurse was like, we don't usually have ices anymore. And then like she went to check and she found
And she
two.
found, she
Yeah,
did find for you.
yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I was like, Shem could do anything. And then I was like able to push, and like I couldn't believe it, but you told me that it was only like 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
I think it was even less.
It was
I
just
don't
like,
think it was even that.
and it was really hard, by the way, because I hadn't pushed in 10 years because of my two C-sections.
Right. Well,
And
your body it had to redo all that work,
yeah,
but Baruch Hashem, you have a pot of gold at the end.
yeah. And also, it was so helpful to have a doula. And Dr. Herman was also amazing. So, like, all of those factors, the nurse was very good. Like, the pushing a baby out is really hard.
Yes, it
But
is.
But I always tell people that I really like being in labor because it's the only day of your life that you bring your baby into the world. And there's like, you actually kind of feel it. And there's like going through the birth canal and like, I don't know, it's just like, it's like such a transition. Like your baby's in you, your baby's out of you, and you're doing the work versus a C-section. Like it's just such a yucky feeling. It's like you feel like that whole experience is, you're robbed of it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like when I went to Romimu, like for camp for the Shabbaton, people were like, "Gila, you're crazy. Like, what if you give birth in the car?" I'm like, I would be so happy if I gave birth in the car. That means that my labor went fast, you know? Like, and people are like, "No, that's crazy." I'm like, "No, that's just what never happened to me. Like, I know it won't happen to me. Like, I know that anything can happen, and I know based on like, I don't know, I'm very in touch with my body. Like, I just wouldn't. That's not how my labors go." And you remember you gave me like a little present before you left. It was so cute and it was so nice. And like I was just so tired. I hadn't eaten or slept or anything and just pushed the baby out. So, but like it was just like it was like the happiest day ever. Like not the happiest day, but because I have other
One
kids.
of your happiest days in your
One of my
life.
happy, but it was like so happy for so many reasons. And then I had a baby girl after three boys, and I got to name for my mother, which was like I didn't know what I was having, so it was just like I don't know, her name is Shalamis for my mom, and Shalamis means like completion. And like I really did feel like, wow, like after like my C-section and losing her, and like she's not here to experience my birth, and like, will I ever have a girl to name for her? You know, it was just like a real like closure moment. And it was like, and like my body's so strong, like I am strong, like even though doctors are afraid of VBACing, like if you have, obviously you can't do anything dangerous, but like if you have the right support, your body is so capable and strong. And it was like just such a powerful experience. Like I just really wanted to share it and like wanted to thank you for helping me experience that.
It's always my honor and pleasure to be with, well, for sure with you, but with all my moms. And every birth that I go to, I feel like these are my grandchildren. And there's this very, as you said, there's this, in a certain way you said it, there's a certain bond that we make when we're in that labor room. Um, and I feel very, very connected to my moms and my babies. And I just hope that Hashem gives me the strength and the koyach to continue to do this for a really, really, really long time.
Oh man, that's so beautiful. It really is. Like it's not something to take lightly. Like it's really bringing a baby into the world. Is like again, if I wasn't scared of blood, like it's just the most amazing thing. I actually wanted to. I just thought of this. If you're okay with it, um, my client just sent this to me. You might have seen it on my status, but she gave me permission to share. So I want to share it here on the podcast. I think it would be a nice time to share it. But she basically, do you mind if I share it?
Please do.
Okay, she sent me this week. She said, "We named our little girl Panina. Panina means a pearl, formed quietly, deep within an oyster, protected and unseen, growing layer by layer until something precious and beautiful emerges. So too, this little girl grew inside of me in the most private, sacred way, and she entered the world in the quiet of our home, a beginning that was gentle, inward, and full of meaning. Carrying her and bringing her into the world felt like a climax to my self love and body positivity journey. The moment proved once more that my body is something powerful, capable, and beautiful. Panina reminds us that what's inside matters most. Her sweetness, her strength, her neshama. Yet, like a pearl, she is also beautiful on the outside, and we want her to grow up knowing and embracing both. Her name holds all of that, the quiet growth, the inner worth, the outer glow, and the hope that she will always feel at home in herself, just as she helped me feel at home in mine. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, that is so special. It's
Yeah,
really powerful. Very, very powerful.
it's powerful how like birth is like it could be such a transformative experience like on so many levels. And like I try to talk about that type, like my work as like an intuitive eating dietitian is like people don't realize like it goes so much deeper than food, right? Because it's like our body is so sacred and like we hold so much in our body, and like diet culture just like kind of robs us of like the beauty in it. And like especially like just going back to my story, like the fact that my body, like even though like I was in the obese category, I don't like the word obese, but like is so like strong and capable, even though like the medical world is like very much against like people being fat or obese or whatever you want to call it, right? And like you could be eating nutritiously and exercising, and you could also not be, and like your body could still be very strong and capable. So I just wanted to
That
share.
is, yes. Wow, this has been amazing. We
Yeah,
could go on for hours.
I know. I won't keep you, but I wanted you to tell the listeners how they can find you if they would like to work with you.
So I have an email. My email is Tova Weiss Doula, TovaWeiss at gmail.com, or my phone number is 917-582-6966. I also do take some insurances through Medicaid only.
Yeah.
Um, I take a few of them, not most of them, not all, but most.
This is
Uh,
amazing. Amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
I wanted to be able to help more and more people, as many as I can. So that's why I decided to go that route. Um, I'm on their website as well, Medicaid's website as well.
That's amazing. I think it's amazing that like I feel like I wish all insurances would follow suit because like it really I don't know, it feels like a medical necessity after all that I've been through. I feel like I wouldn't have had C-sections like otherwise. And obviously that's a bold statement to say, but it's necessary.
I recently had a mom who was having double digit child, Baruch Hashem, and she never had had a doula before, and she heard it was free on Medicaid. I mean,
Wow.
that she didn't have to
Yeah,
pay, I
she didn't
should
have to
say.
pay. Yeah, yeah,
And um, she said, I don't know where I've been
yeah,
the
yeah.
best of my pregnancies.
Yes,
And
yes,
she's
yes.
not the only one. I've had quite a few like that
Like
that have
me. Yeah,
recently told me that.
yeah,
Um, and it's a lot of word of mouth, and that's how I'm getting a lot of my, my moms
yeah,
coming through.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
I have one more question before we end. Like for I feel like it would be helpful for me to hear also as a doula, like from a doula, like postpartum is really hard, like really, really hard, especially if you have other kids, physically and emotionally. And like everybody's like, take care of yourself, take care of yourself, take care of yourself. I love it. I saw somebody post on Instagram, like when people wrote like, so I don't remember the exact thing, so you'll have to like forgive me for forgetting, but like somebody was talking about how she had a newborn and like everybody told her like, you sleep while the baby sleeps. So she's like, yeah, and I'll do laundry when the baby does laundry, right? And I was like, that's exactly true. Like, well said. Like, it's really hard. And like, what do you suggest is like as a doula, like how could moms like better recover?
So that's a very interesting question. And there are sometimes we have to start off with even taking 10 minutes of our day, not a big portion, because big portion of our day is really hard to do. But if we say 10 minutes of our day, say like that you're just going to pamper yourself, whether that means drinking a cup of cocoa or coffee, whatever it is that the mom or tea, whatever the mom is into.
Yeah,
Um, even just taking more than a 1 minute shower
right,
to start to try to give yourself a little bit of me time. It's important to have me time because if you don't have me time, even if it's only 10 minutes of the day, then it's hard to be on for everyone else. So if you start, obviously try to eat right. I know that's also sometimes harder said than done.
yeah.
Um,
Or just
but
make sure you eat.
right, make
I
sure
don't
you
even like
eat.
the word eat right. I just mean like make sure you have food in your body.
Right, correct. But you know, if also the support system, the spouse, the sibling, the children, maybe if there's some older children who could alleviate a little bit, not a lot. I don't like to
Right,
give on the
right,
kids, but like,
right.
even if again, if it's where for 5 or 10 minutes of the day, just like you going to the bathroom and
Right.
saying, okay, to
Going
the
to the bathroom by
10-year-old,
yourself. Yeah.
saying to the 10-year-old, okay, could you just like, I'm going to the whatever, I'm using the bathroom,
Yeah.
or I just need a few minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you, I mean, it's not all you need, but
Right. It can make a
sometimes
big
that's the
difference. The small
start.
things can make a big difference.
That's the start of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then in terms of if somebody really is postpartum, there are definitely places that can help out with that. So, you know, there
So
are
maybe I'll get that
resources.
information from you and I could put it in the show notes also.
Yeah, there
It
are
happens to
resources for
be
that.
when I posted this on my status about the little girl named Panina for my client. Somebody had just posted about this organization, Panina, that is for moms with postpartum depression. So I was
Right.
I feel really silly because a lot of people were like, "Oh my gosh, you founded that organization." I'm like, "No, I just shared it, but I must have said in like the notes underneath that I founded this," and I felt really silly. So I did not found that. But yeah, there's so many organizations, so maybe I'll put together a list for the show notes. But thank you so much for coming on. This was so great, and like we've been talking about this for almost 6 months.
Yes.
So thank
But
you
thank you for
again.
having me. And again, it's been an amazing journey I mean, I hope it was I think it was an amazing journey for you, but certainly it's been an amazing journey for me and with Hashem's help, obviously.
I mean, you said like after I used you, I posted you on my status, and you said that like everybody was talking about it, like seeing you. Like,
Yes.
I told every single person I saw, I love Tova, and that's just my personality. Like I love to share. So like I'm like anyone who's pregnant, I'm like, do you know Tova? Like you got to call Tova. So like it's really funny.
Thank you. And I appreciate all the referrals that I've gotten from you.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.